You know, those ridges on the sides of coins haven't always been there. Back in the 18th century, people would file the coins down to make new coins later, which is not legal. To win this, the U.S. Mint engraved ridges onto coins to show if they had been tampered with. The filing down of coins stopped, but the tradition has stayed. A picture frame that's fallen because one of the hangers has come off has a simple fix. No one will ever see it either. Grab the nearest soda can and bend the pull tab off. Then simply screw it into where the hanger broke. Bend the end slightly out and hang it back up. If you don't have space for a greenhouse, try soda bottle greenhouses. Each seed gets its own micro greenhouse. Just cut the bottom off the bottles and remove the labels so you can see them better. Remove the greenhouses once the seeds have germinated and cuttings are established. Orbit chewing gum is easily one of the most recognized logos in the entire world. It's got a neatly hidden symbol on the label as well. The capital O is split into two parts, one dark for the night and one light for the day, just like our planet orbiting the sun. Peeling garlic is probably one of the most smelly and annoying jobs of cooking. The peel sticks to everything, and your hands will smell like garlic forever. Well, simply pop the cloves into a microwave for 10 seconds, and they'll squeeze them right out of their paper shells. Or grab a jar, place the cloves inside, and give it a good shake. The peel will come right off. Many modern cars have color-coded engines, so you don't have to be a mechanic to find your way around them. The color-coded bits are usually marked yellow, blue, red, and green color. These are the things that you should keep an eye on between services, such as the dipstick, oil cap, coolant, brake fluid, and washer fluid. Pretty much leave all the black and gray stuff to the experts. Cutting cherry tomatoes can be a tedious task, one tomato at a time. There is a quicker way to do it. Try placing a bunch of them between two plates. Hold the top plate and carefully cut between them with your knife. Perfectly cut cherry tomato halves. Many color printers have added dots to printed documents, without anyone even knowing they're there. They become more visible when magnified and photographed with the help of a blue LED flashlight. The position of the dots reveals the time, date, and a serial number of the device used during the printing. Next time you're on a plane and get the aisle seat, look for the hidden button on the armrest. Feel around near the hinge at the back, and you should find a button. This releases the armrest lock, instantly allowing it to swing up. Once it's level with your seat, it won't press into your side anymore. It'll also give you more room to move your legs around. Flight crews are known to use a system of chimes and bells to communicate across the entire plane. These chime messages could be about anything from the number of remaining snacks, turbulence ahead, or a storm upcoming on the flight path. Sometimes the chimes can be a signal from the cockpit to alert a route change or an emergency. Fonts that we use to print documents actually used to be named after their creators. Garamond was named after its creator, Claude Garamond, a famous French printer who was commissioned by the King of France to create a new font. His font became the stock standard until the 18th century. Garamond is still one of the most economical fonts to use to save ink while printing. Nintendo Switch cartridges have a hidden safety feature that stops people from sticking them in their mouths. That's an issue? Apparently. Although non-toxic, denatonium benzoate coats the cartridge in a sour, peppery, and bitter substance to prevent people from swallowing them. Being one of the most bitter flavors known to humanity, it's commonly used to keep people from consuming things they're not meant to. A vegetable peeler isn't just for peeling potatoes, zucchini, or carrots. Try shaving onion for thin slices. This will speed up the process before getting teary-eyed. Perfect thin slices of cheese can also be achieved with the peeler. The eagle on the back of the dollar bill has 13 stars above it to represent the first 13 colonies. But that's not the only 13. There are 13 arrows, 13 olive branch leaves, 13 olive fruits, 13 stars above the eagle, 13 steps of the pyramid, and 13 bars on the shield. Strangely, but probably just a coincidence, the words annuit sepsis and e pluribus unum also have 13 letters. Lemons can be used as a deodorant, air freshener, polish, bug repellent, hair lightener, and to help rice not stick to the rice cooker or pot. Just add a little squeeze into the cooker before turning it on. How about that? Oh, and they also make pretty good lemonade too. Copper and brass items start to look a little bit tarnished over time. Use some ketchup and salt to bring back that shine. Place the mixture into a rag and rub it into whatever needs that sparkle again. Cover every bit of the surface, then simply rinse off and dry. Forget trying to break your nails trying to open key rings again. Grab a staple remover, the one that looks like a mouth, and wedge its teeth between the coils to open it up easily. If the key, or whatever you're putting on there, still won't fit, just push down further until it's wide enough. Tap the home button 3 times on an iPhone to turn it into a convenient magnifying glass. Use the slider to control the zoom, and it even has an optional flashlight if you need it in the dark. Perfect for reading tiny print, finding interesting tiny insects, or maybe even looking closely at jewelry. Microwavable instant rice packets can fall over if not placed properly. Pull out the bottom flaps for a sturdier base and to cook that rice better. An easy, cheap, and environmentally safe way to start seedlings is to save your toilet paper rolls. Cut the tubes in half and place them on a suitable tray. Fill them up with potting soil and seeds and start watering. Once the seeds have germinated, you can just place them into the soil with the tube. It'll break down quickly. Windows 10 has a lot of hidden secrets and useful tools for users that aren't used enough, such as the Task Manager, Device and Disk Management, and File Explorer. Instead of searching around, just right-click on the Windows button or use Windows key plus X to bring up the menu. Quickly minimize all windows except the active one without using the Show Desktop function. With Windows 10, all that's needed is to grab the window by its title bar and give it a good old shake. All inactive windows will minimize and won't close the window that's open. A pudding or applesauce with no spoon doesn't need to be a tragedy. Don't worry, there's a hidden trick with a foil. It can be turned into a quick spoon by folding it into one. Better than using your fingers, huh? Progress bars aren't as accurate as we believe. Downloads and transfers have many variables beyond the control of the computer system. A progress bar at 50% doesn't mean half of the file has been downloaded. Almost all the files could have been downloaded, or none. Internet speeds and network availability are the real organizers of how quickly a download will complete, while the computer's hard drive is the one processing and placing the files where they need to be. The green paste that comes with sushi sometimes isn't wasabi, it's horseradish. Most fake wasabi is made from a blend of horseradish, mustard flour, cornstarch, and green food colorant. Real wasabi is very expensive and with a milder taste. If the chef doesn't make it in front of you, it's not going to be the real thing. Removing a trash bag from the bin can be messy, especially when the bag seems to be holding onto it for dear life. By drilling a small hole in the bottom of your trash can, it'll fix the air pressure difference that creates the vacuum seal. Dropping a juice box when it's open can turn a day of cleaning up into a sticky mess. Luckily, the manufacturers put little handles in just for this reason, even if we don't see them. The flaps at the top of the juice box can be pushed upward, creating a makeshift holder. Next time you're feeling a little clumsy, fold those corners out and feel a little more at ease. Open rigid plastic clamshell packaging as if it were just a simple can. The sharp wheels of any can opener can cut the plastic without the hassle of using scissors or knives. It won't curl around the corners, so just cut open one side and tear it apart. Arr. Play-Doh was never made for playtime. This putty was originally for cleaning up walls in the 1930s. The simple ingredients of flour, water, salt, and food coloring can keep children and some adults amused for hours. It's the easiest modeling clay and it's not expensive. Once wallpapers became the new craze, soapy water worked just fine. Play-Doh had to find a new use, and it did. Analog watches can do much more than telling the time. If you need to step away from your computer for a little while, and it keeps making you log back in, place your laser mouse over the top of an analog watch. The mouse will read the ticking hands and keep your computer open. Now, who would have thought?
Hey Brightsiders, how many of these things do you really know the meaning of? Let's see how you go. On the back of most beauty products, you'll find a small open jar symbol that's there to show you the useful lifetime of the item. For example, 2M means 2 months. 30M is 30 months after opening. I always thought those were for how many uses you get out of the product. Whoops. I don't know how this one was found out, but Nintendo Switch cartridges have a hidden safety function and it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. Although non-toxic, the natonium benzoate coats the cartridge in a sour, peppery and bitter substance to prevent people from swallowing them. Being one of the most bitter flavors known to humanity, it's commonly used to keep people from consuming things they're not meant to. Honestly, who found this out? Those different colored bread tags use a color-coded system to show the day that they were baked on. They're usually blue tags for Mondays, green tags Tuesdays, red tags Thursdays, white tags Fridays, and yellow tags for Saturdays. Apparently, no bread is baked on a Sunday. German chocolate cake is one of the most delicious cakes out there, but its name has nothing to do with the country at all. Named after an American baker named Samuel German, who made the tasty treat in 1852. All I know is that it's delightful, and no, you can't have a piece. Sports drinks seem to be the most prized possession of sports people. All those bright-colored drinks filled with electrolytes will increase performance and rehydrate you fast. The problem is, we're not all athletes. Your exercise habits, the duration and intensity of your training all come into whether you need that extra boost. I guess I'll just stick to water then? That space at the bottom of noodle cups surely has a purpose, but what could it be? It's for protecting the noodles using a technique called middle suspension, not to give you less. Notice how they're rarely broken compared to packets? Not only less likely to break, but it also helps those tasty noodles soften more evenly and quickly. I would have never guessed that. I certainly don't miss when my professor used to write notes in the margin of my notebook. Little did most of us know that it wasn't its purpose at all. They're an old practice for rat protection. Rats used to nibble on the paper of the books, so they invented the column so that the writing would be safe if the little animals got hungry. Maybe the rats just also had homework and wanted to take some paper home instead. Above the inside of car doors, you'll usually find a handle. Its purpose isn't just something to hold on to when someone drives like a rally car driver. These handles are actually very useful to someone with limited mobility trying to get in and out of the car. The driver's door often lacks a handle, but one of the possible reasons makes sense. The steering wheel itself can function as a handle if needed. Probably be hard to get in with the limited driver space using a handle anyways. Have a look at how your zipper sits the next time you've put on a pair of pants, shirts or skirt. If it's in an upward position, you might be unlucky and have it unzip at a bad time. Push the little zipper tab downwards and it will automatically lock. No more embarrassing moments for me anymore. Those ridge lines on toothpicks aren't there to make it fancy. They're designed to break off. After snapping the tab off, you can then replace it as a holder for your toothpick. Now it won't touch the table and get all dirty. Remember to put the pointy end down on it. I shouldn't have had to say that, but you never know. A pencil mistake was easy to fix. You just used the pink side, right? With ink though, you just turned the eraser around for the blue part, but it just seemed to wreck the paper instead. That's because the blue part was also for pencil mistakes. It was made for thicker pages like art pages or for when the softer pink side couldn't get the job done right. The number of pages I destroyed before I found this out is crazy. Really need that gaming fix, but your internet is down? Google has you covered. Instead of panicking, press that spacebar when you see the little pixelated dinosaur next to the unable to connect to the internet or no internet display instead of a web page. Dodge those obstacles and get a high score. This little Easter egg has become a beloved game. Be careful, it's addictive. Speaking of, where's my phone now? During the colder months, putting on a beanie is normal to avoid having your head from freezing. That fluffy pom-pom on top must be how they get rid of all that extra material. Well, you can thank the French sailors for that on top, to stop them from banging their heads on the low ceiling of the ship. A little warning that they were a little too close to the roof. The design changed into what we know now today, and that's how the cute little pom-poms ended up on our beanies. Pay attention to any watch advertisement and you'll notice that the time displayed should be 10 past 10. Apart from looking a little like a smile, the brand name of the watch is usually directly below the 12, so it draws more attention to it. Isn't it weird how every clock face seems to be advertised that way? I wish it was the smile reason though. The diamond leather patch on backpacks isn't just a weird decoration, it's there to hold your joggers or other items as well. Backpacks are made for the outdoors, and with so many pockets to hold water bottles, pens, maps, and occasionally a tiny dog, it makes sense to have your muddy joggers on the outside of your bag rather than in it. I prefer its other name, pig snout. Pouring milk out of a carton can sometimes lead to accidents, but there's no need to cry over spilled milk. Try this simple trick that will confuse you. Turn the carton around and pour that way. It may seem weird, but you'll actually never get that clogging effect ever again when you try it. We've all done this one. Pulled some plastic wrap to then have the roll jump out of the box as well. Instead of being frustrated, my friends, here's something we've all missed. There are little cardboard tabs on the sides that can be pushed into to hold the tube inside, making it easy to glide the film out. Mind blown! Elevators have many tricks to them. Some we can use like pressing the floor button twice to turn it off, or if you're lucky, holding the closed door button and your floor together to go right there. But what about that secret hole that looks like an air hole in the outside door? Is it used by spies or secret agents? As cool as that would be, it's simply a hole for maintenance people to open and fix any problems. I'd prefer the secret agent to use it, but at least we know what it's for now. Next time you're on a plane, look above each window and you'll notice some little triangles sitting above some of the windows. They're to show the flight crew the best spots to view the plane's flaps through the window. Not because the designer thought triangles were cool. Sitting between the wings puts you in the direct center of the plane and offers the smoothest possible ride if you get airsick as well. That's where I'm going to sit on my next flight. Those escalator brushes are really great at brushing off any dirt left on your shoes, but they're not there for that, even though I must say that they do a good job at it. These bristles are a big safety feature. Loose clothing, shoelaces, and bags can get sucked into the machine when they're too close to the sides. The job of the little brushes is to tickle you or make a loud sound against the fabric. This is meant to alert to move away from the edge and not see what the inside of the machine looks like. I always thought it was a spider crawling on me, so they obviously do a good job to keep your feet away. That's it for today. See you next time, Brightsiders.
Metal buttons on jeans, also known as rivets, helped make the pockets more durable when miners would fill them with heavy tools. They're still helpful today, even if you don't store anything heavy in your pockets. Rivets strengthen the seams and make your jeans last longer. These tiny ridges on the letters F and J on a keyboard help us find the correct keys while touch typing. Also, since they're located in the center, they indicate the optimum position for typing. By the way, QWERTY was invented back in the early 1870s, and before that, the first keyboards were piano-like, with 2 rows of characters in alphabetical order. Don't blame that little lump on your computer cable for irritating you when it gets stuck somewhere for the umpteenth time. This cylinder, shapes and colors may vary, actually helps prevent interference from other signals, like those your phone emits. A hole in the handle of pots and even frying pans is designed as a holder for spoons if it's large enough. This way, sauce or whatever you stir drops back into the pan, and there's no more mess in the kitchen. As for handles, jerry cans have 3 of them. It's a smart designer move, so when you carry it alone, you use only the central handle to distribute the weight evenly. But your friend wants to help you out. Each of you grabs the side handle. A lack of privacy in public bathrooms, I mean that significant gap beneath where standard doors tend to be, is there for a reason. This way, people do their business faster, and there are fewer lines. Also, if something goes wrong, it's easy to find a person who needs help. In London, some poles kinda look like street lamps, but there are no bulbs. Well, their official name is stink pipes. And they're a thing of the past now, but they used to come in handy back in the 19th century. These hollow poles would take the air and explosive gases with bad smells up to prevent unwanted consequences. Books are printed on large sheets, so one sheet can fit in 4 printed pages. If a book has an odd quantity of printed pages, chances are you'll get a blank one for notes or the author's signature. Toothbrush bristles have 2 secret features. First, they fade over time, so when it gets less bright, you gotta buy a new one. Also, the bristles vary in length, and longer ones on one end can help clean the back teeth better. Toothpaste stripes aren't more than a marketing trick. In the 70s, a leading toothpaste brand introduced a blue stripe, claiming their toothpaste had double action. Solid white toothpaste has the same functions though. Originally, golf balls were smooth. They have a dimpled surface now because players noticed that overused balls with damages flew better than brand new ones. At some point, manufacturers started producing balls with dimples. Windshield black dots, or frits, help dispense the sun glaring right into your eyes. This frame keeps the UV rays away and helps the glass heat up evenly, so it's sort of sunglasses for your car. The tab on the rearview mirror wasn't meant to hold your air freshener. It's a tumbler between day and night mode. It keeps the glare from other cars at bay, so you can't be distracted by headlights behind you. Colored dots on chip bags help manufacturers control the package color and show what ink color was used on the package. No big deal. Your microwave probably has a silence mode. Press 1 or 0 and hold. It might work. Also, there is sometimes a mute button you kept ignoring all this time. Anyway, there are no 2 identical microwaves, so a manual should come in handy. Grocery cart loops help organize all the stuff in your cart better so you can enjoy your supermarket trip. You don't want to put your brand new fancy white jacket in a cart next to carrots and onions, huh? Fruit stickers know everything about your apple's past. A 5-digit number where the first number is 9 is a good sign. It's an organic product. A 4-digit number starting with 3 or 4 means it was conventionally farmed. If the number starts with an 8 and there are 5 digits, it's best to leave it on the shelf. Automatic lip liners and eye pencils have a sharpener installed in the package. The lid on the back part of the pencil doesn't only reveal the color. You can pull it out and sharpen up the product. If you don't feel like peeling an orange, cut it on top and bottom, make a slit on a side, and just pull it open. Toothpicks sometimes have several grooves, and the section with grooves is a makeshift holder. It's easy to break the toothpick into 2 parts. The smaller one with the groove can be used to avoid contact with the table. You can also make a makeshift stand for disposable sushi sticks. They have a sort of lump at one side before you split the pair. Break that lump off, and when you want to take a sushi break, just place the stick on this stand. Most tubes are usually sealed with plastic film or foil, and opening it with your fingernails isn't the best idea. A point on the ointment tab easily opens even the most safely sealed tube. A dinner jacket has small pockets above regular ones. They're called ticket pockets, and gentlemen wearing such jackets can quickly pull the tickets before getting on a train. Yeah, you've heard before that a drawer beneath your oven is there for keeping the food warm if the guests are running late. Hey, You can also slow cook on lower temperatures in that drawer. All the bottles used to be of the same green color once, but it turns out brown ones are way better at blocking UV light. Say no more. A dollar has its secrets too. A large letter with a rim shows which bank is responsible for issuing this bill. 12 different Federal Reserve banks print all the money, so if you want to know where your money comes from, just look for these small codes. A1, Boston. B2, New York. C3, Philadelphia. D4, Cleveland. E5, Richmond. F6, Atlanta. G7, Chicago. H8, St. Louis. I9, Minneapolis. J10, Kansas City. K11, Dallas. 1112, San Francisco. Rough edges on the dimes aren't just about design. The weight of coins made of precious metal was used to show the coin's actual value. People would shave off the edges, spending the shaving coins with the same value, and melt the edges to make new coins. To avoid it, the minter added that pattern so people could tell if a coin was cut. Small dimples on the bottom of some cups keep them in place on wet surfaces, and it doesn't let the excess water accumulate while it's in a dishwasher. To enjoy fresh and soft peanut butter, store it upside down. This way, the oils don't stay on the bottom all the time and distribute evenly in the jar. Bath foam has a sort of thermoregulatory function. The bubbles keep the water hot so that you can enjoy your bath a bit longer. Disclaimer: it works for acrylic bathtubs only. Those made of metal lose heat rather fast, no matter how much foam you make. A doorknob made of brass, bronze, and some copper alloys has an anti-germ effect because of its metal properties. A small V-patch right at the bottom of the collar helps put on the sweater without losing any shape over time because it's made of a double layer of webbing material, just like waistbands and cuffs. To avoid spilling juice right onto your t-shirt, try pouring it from the other side of the carton. This way, it sloshes less, and it's easy to control. Triangular flaps on small juice cartons can help control unwanted spillage too. If you flip them and use them as handles for the carton, you won't press the package, so the juice won't be squeezed uncontrollably. All the disposable cups look the same. The secret here is the special shape that lets you enjoy your drink easily. The top is always wider for the nose to fit in while you're drinking, and the bottom is always narrower so anyone can hold it, even if the hand is small. Also, the width difference allows the cups to stack. You can use a mason jar directly onto the blender with a screw on top and make any shake you want without having to wash the blender jar. The only rule is to not put your device on max. There is no need to tear one of its edges on stick sachets. The right way is to tear them down the middle. You may say it's not a big difference, but at least there's less mess with those torn paper bits. 2 zips for one section can be an excellent pickpocket proof. You can put on a small lock on those zippers and make sure no one but you can open your backpack. If something got stuck in your teeth, it could be hard to have perfect results with loose floss. To increase the tension, tie it in a knot. With increased tension, you'll get rid of that basil between your teeth in no time. A tiny hole on the bottom of a padlock is there to drain water to help avoid corrosion. Plus, it's the most convenient place to lubricate a padlock. A drop of oil in there will make it open and close easier. A tiny plastic disc under a bottle lid is what makes soda sparkling. While the lid keeps the liquid inside, this plastic disc holds the gases inside. Without it, it would just be sweet water. It's a myth that the red side of the eraser is for pencil and the blue one is for ink. The blue one gets rid of mistakes on thicker types of paper only. It works both for pencil and even ink, but make sure the paper is really thick. But that blue little thing can do so much more. It can polish your jewelry, clean your electronics, for example, the screen of your cell phone. You know those irritating sticker residues that won't peel off? Eraser helps there too. So as with cleaning scuffed up suede or dirt you have on your walls. Glass bottles usually have a kind of indent on the bottom called a punt. It's handy for those who pour drinks in the glass. The bottle won't slip from the hands like this. A cotton pads pack has those strings on it to hang on some hook or holder. There is no need to untighten and tighten the pack again. Look at the bottom. It has a perforated line. Tear along it and just pull out a cotton pad from a hanging pack. If you lick a Nintendo cartridge, you'll notice they leave a revolting, sour, bitterish aftertaste in your mouth. They're covered with denatonium benzoate, aka one of the most disgusting flavors. It prevents people from swallowing those cartridges. Bottles have long necks for a reason. Hold the neck, not the bottle, if you want to enjoy a cold drink. The same goes for fancy glasses. Their stem saves any drink from overheating, so hold it right. A button on the reverse side of a shirt collar is needed to hold a tie in place. Anyway, slim ties, which this button was designed for, are not that popular today, so this button is only an element of design. All running shoes have an anti-blister system pre-installed. It's the extra hole on top of your sneakers. Make a loop with this hole, inserting the lace in backwards. Cross the laces and insert them into the loops. Then pull the laces down, creating a kind of lock. Some people like to hide the laces under the soles to make them totally invisible. Women's shirts oddly have buttons on the left because some women used to have maids who would help them dress up. It was convenient for maids to button the shirts with the button on the left. Silica gel can often be found in different things you buy, like bags, shoes, and many others. It's meant to absorb excess moisture, so anytime your shoes are a bit wet, just throw in a sachet with silica gel. You are probably using shampoo wrong all the time. Well, the main thing you should know is that you don't apply it directly on your hair. You gotta apply it onto the roots only. The foam that you make is enough to clean your hair. Notebook margins were invented to protect people's notes. People used to co-live with rats, and those rodents nibbled on paper pretty often. Still, they weren't able to gnaw on more than the space left on the margins. Red cups you saw at parties can measure liquids. The bottom line equals 1 ounce, the second line equals 5 ounces, and the third line equals 12 ounces. Detachable headrests in cars are all about safety. If you pull it out of a seat, you'll see 2 pretty sturdy bars. If you ever get locked or trapped in a car, you can get out of there smashing the window with these bars. A little arrow next to the refueling indicator on the car's dashboard indicates which side of the vehicle has fuel tank openings. It's useful when you need to refuel a rented car. Roadside rumble strips come in handy if someone wants to drive at night, since they prevent falling asleep. Whenever a car bumps into these strips, the driver feels vibration and hears quite a loud noise, so the driver can't help but wake up instantly. Rings used to be more than a stylish accessory. The nobility used rings as a seal. Archers wore rings to protect their fingers from bowstring injuries, while needlewomen from needle pricks. As for rings, 3 rings on a phone jack are not part of the design. They represent different functions. If your audio jack has 3 of them, it means your device can produce stereo sound and your earphones have the microphone function. Kings depicted on playing cards are real historical characters. Spades, King David. Clubs, Alexander the Great. Hearts, Charles the Great. Diamonds, Julius Caesar. We tore off Post-it notes incorrectly all this time. If you tear them off from below, they will stick off before long. But if you tear them off on the side, along the sticky line, it will hold on to the wall much longer. A lint roller is good at removing those tiny fibers, but you can also use it to clean other stuff. For example, when you want to remove the dirt from the utensil tray in your dishwasher. Simply take your sticky lint roller and put it into each compartment, and all crumbs, dirt, and leftovers, they're all gone. There's a number put on the side of many cosmetic products. It isn't picked randomly. It tells you how long your product will last after you've opened it. Here's why it has an open jar for a graphic symbol. If you prefer to buy the milk in those plastic containers, you've probably seen those big circles on the side. These circles absorb the shock if you drop the milk on the floor, and also give some extra room so the container can expand. That's how you can see if the milk's turned bad without tasting it. It's sometimes irritating when you see you haven't used the entire stick of deodorant. There's a little bit more left, but it's hard to reach it. Okay, the trick is easy. Unscrew the bottom, take a pencil, and force it underneath that moving platform. That way, you'll push what's left of deodorant out. 2 flat prongs you can see on standard plugs used in North and Central America make sense. But how about those holes near the tips? Thanks to them, the outlet firmly grips the plug so that it won't loosen or fall out of the socket. The second thing about the holes is that they allow you to wire electric power directly to the prongs, so you don't even have to use classical electrical outlets. So, if you need to get electrical power via direct wires, yep, the holes we got over there make the entire job much easier. Airplane windows have little holes too, and they're one of the essential features for a plane to fly safely. They protect people from outside pressure and generally balance the pressure on the windows when the plane takes off. A pasta spoon has a hole in its handle, which can definitely be helpful when you grab pasta and want to let water drain out. However, it also comes as a good measuring tool since the hole fits around 1 serving of pasta. If you take a box of aluminum foil, you'll see tabs you can press on the side. They keep the foil straight and prevent it from rolling. It's also easier to tear off some amount of foil thanks to those tabs. Sometimes, things have a specific purpose, but you can always give them more rolls. For instance, if you want to eat some applesauce, but you don't have a spoon, just take the lid, twist the end to turn it into a handle, and make a scoop. Yum! You can train finger agility by catching noodles and rice with chopsticks from the corners of the Asian food boxes. Or you can expand the box and then it will become a plate. According to one theory, funny fluffy hat balls appeared in the 18th century on the caps of French sailors. They were tired of banging their heads against low ship ceilings and ledges and had created these pom-poms. Trailers used to be shown not before movies but after. Just think about how it's called. The word trailer means trailer to something. To a car, for example. Wood hangers still occupy a large part of the market because cedar wood, which hangers are made of, contains natural oils which repel moths, thereby preserving your things. To see if the boiled egg was fresh or not, just peel it. The more difficult it is to clean, the fresher it is. There's one more egg trick. Try twisting it. If an egg spins steadily, it's boiled. If it spins slowly or not spin at all, it's raw.